Go the Rams. Bah!
Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Kieran Walters just goes from dubbing half to pick up Darren Doherty. Doherty, 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Rampage League podcast. Of course, coming from our new home down here at the Brew Boys Brewery in Croydon, South Australia. And we've convinced the matchday crew to bring him back early. So he stepped up to this week's team. Simon, how are you going?
I'm good. It's good to be back after my week suspension. I'm back and keen to talk about Magic Round,
Yes, of course. That's going to be the highlight of this week. And
it's a big time in Queensland. And obviously we've got other stuff to talk about, which we'll get on. But, I love Magic Round. I wish it was here. But the Queenslanders always have what they want. So we'll talk about that shortly. Going to be a good episode, I think.
Absolutely. And on the phone, we met him last week. Tama, welcome back to the Rampage League podcast.
Cheers, Daz. All right, Simon. Good to be here, lads.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Right. Well, do you want to kick us off with the review of round 10?
Yes, the review. Let's get my phone working. And so, it seems like so long ago, Thursday night football from Suncorp was the Dolphins versus Manly. This game was quite interesting. Manly started really well. I think they're leading 16 points to 4 at one stage, and then they turned off just before half time, and the Dolphins scored quick tries. Okay,
that's it.
And then the big story of that game was obviously Turbo got injured again.
Yes, yeah.
I'm actually not too sad about that. I feel like Turbo has been inconsistent with his form, and the media kind of hype him up to be playing really good this year. I think he didn't really play to his potential the last few rounds. He's had a few errors in his game.
Yep.
Tofu Kola, I think, is a great fullback. I think I'd love to see him stay there full time and put Turbo in the centres. But what was your thoughts on this game, Darren? Obviously, Manly lost 30 points to 24.
I was a bit disappointed. I thought they would have. I tipped them last week, and I thought they would have come through, but the Dolphins were just far too superior and too strong.
Manly definitely, they turned off. But Dolphins, they played really well, and it's good to see the Dolphins playing well because they haven't got really any big stars. Hammer was out. They got a few big players out. Herbie Farnworth came back, which is good for them. But the Dolphins, it's good to see them up there. So, do you want to see?
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Tama?
Yeah, I agree with Simon. I think Turbo, once that hamstring goes, you're just consistently trying to, compensate in other body parts, and which causes, form loss. So it's sad for him and the Sea Eagles, but I think Turbo's been out of form, in and out of form too much.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, good to say someone agrees with me, Vice. That's good. Yeah. So, so the next game was a Friday night game, and it was the Panthers versus the Dogs. So the Panthers won 16-10. Another big out. Nathan Cleary, another hamstring gone as well.
Oh, I know. That was. I couldn't believe that. Yes.
Yeah. So and then the Panthers still won, but Cleary out, and he's out for 8 weeks. It's the same as Turbo. Hamstrings. I'm the curse, aren't they?
It is. Is it how it happened, or could it have been the surface?
I think it's just because they've had Cleary just came back from a hamstring injury, and once you get a hamstring injury, they seem to always be around. Hamstrings go and they go again and they go again. So I know that Turbo has a really strict training program. He works really hard.
Yep.
I'm guessing Cleary with the same after having a hamstring injury. So what do you do for Cleary? Do you limit his kicking game? Does he stop goal kicking? What's the fix for the Panthers there?
Because once you do that, you take away a really good weapon if you take part of his game away. What do you think the Panthers should do with Cleary, Tama?
Yeah, I mean, 8 weeks is a long time. I guess they've just got to, gather around that position. and he's just got to get right. And like Simon said, you've got to get your hamstrings right.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the Panthers, they don't need to rush Cleary back. Give him 10 weeks.
Right.
Give him 10 weeks. Like get him right 100% because they're going to be in the finals. The Panthers. They've got too good of a squad not to be in the finals. And if they get Cleary right, they could have a 4-peat. You know. Well,
Yes,
I think Manly will be trying to rush back Turbo, which they don't need to. But you don't want to rush back your star player. It's a long season. He's going to miss Origin. Okay, New South Wales. That's sad to see, but the bigger picture is obviously the premiership. So don't rush him back. They've still got Luai. They've got Mitch Kenny, Dylan Edwards. They've got a stacked team. So I don't think they need to rely on one player. Like if it was a different team, like if it was Newcastle, it was Ponga. It's different, like Mitchell Moses for Parramatta. Like they need them in their team. Otherwise, they're nothing. But I feel like the Panthers they've got too much star quality to rely on Cleary. So we'll see what happens with that.
We will definitely.
So the second game on Friday night was the Parramatta Eels versus the Broncos. I hate Parramatta, so I can't ever tip them. I can't do it. And I think they had a big out. Clint Gutherson was out, no Mitchell Moses, and the Broncos won 30 points to 14. The Broncos, I feel like a top 4 side. Adam Reynolds is obviously their problem. He's out for a while, so that's a problem in the halves. But what's your thoughts on the game, Darren?
I think this one probably was a foregone conclusion. It was. I think we were always thinking that it was going to be the Broncos over the Eels, and maybe not such a big margin, but I think it was Broncos. And Tama, you must be a very happy Broncos fan.
Yeah, it's good to see the mighty Broncos get up, and I'm with Simon again. With the Eels, I think they've been overhyped the last couple of seasons. I think they're the expectations of seeing the Eels do well is year after year. It hasn't been there. So, and a bit like the Warriors, we'll get to them later on. But I think a sense of underachievement from the Eels every season.
Yeah, I feel like Brad Arthur must be worried about his job.
Oh, definitely.
Because a few years ago they were in the grand finals, the Panthers, and since then they've dropped off just so much, and they haven't really lost any of their squad. So it's like, yeah, I'd be worried if I was him. I wouldn't be going to work on Monday if they lose. I think if he loses, they'd have to be gone for sure.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going on to Super Saturday. It was Newcastle versus the West Tigers. This wasn't really an entertaining game to me. Both teams are kind of... Newcastle are winning, but they're not playing great football. They're just winning. And the poor Tigers, they started off good at the start of the season, and now they're just sliding big. So they lost 20 points to 14. I feel for the Tigers fans, I really do. And in Newcastle, without Cam Ponga, they're still winning. They're just outside the 8. So
they are, definitely. Yeah, I thought this one would have been... I think I remember tipping the Tigers. I just thought they might get over the Knights, but Knights showed how good they are and came out winners.
It was weird because this game was in Tamworth too.
Yes.
So it just annoys me how Tamworth gets a game, Bathurst gets a game, Wagga gets a game, Darwin gets a game.
Yeah.
Darwin gets a game, yeah.
And in Adelaide, we get nothing. Are we in Australia? Have they cut us out of the country?
Oh, you'd have to wonder, and actually we're going to talk about a big issue that's just come out of the NRL Kingdom over the week.
You might have to beep out a few words because I am not happy about this, so we'll talk about that shortly. But
absolutely.
Yeah, hold me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on this game, the Knights and the Tigers?
Tama?
Go on, Dad. Oh, yeah, very bland. Very bland game. And then we'll just tick it off as a win.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a win.
It is.
They go next week. The second game, Super Saturday, was the Dragons versus the Rabbits. The poor Rabbits, last on the ladder. Latrell came back. Did he play great? He scored a try. Did he play good? I don't think he played that well, but I think anyone in the Rabbits is really... I say he scored 2 tries and a try assist, but I don't think anyone is really playing that well in the Rabbits team. You look at the team and they shouldn't be where they are. They got Jack White and they've got Cody Walker. They've Damien Cook.
They look fatigued.
Yep.
Simon, they look fatigued.
They do, don't they? They look,
Yeah, yep.
Is it a coach issue? Is it something else?
I was going to say, can you sack a replacement coach?
Yeah, because they already sacked one. They could be a record. Let's just keep sacking coaches. It's not the players' fault. It's the coaches. Yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, they didn't look interested, really, did they?
No, they didn't. No,
Yeah. But the Dragons, well done. They play well, and they won 28 points to 14.
definitely.
And they're just outside the 8-2. A lot of people pick the Dragons to be right down the bottom of the ladder. So
Right.
yeah, so it's good to see.
It is rubber.
Yeah.
Any other comments, Tama?
No, just rabbits shouldn't be where they are with the calibre of players they've got,
100%.
and their structures and their the lack of execution of game plan. But
Yeah. So
like you said, Simon, you can't. The Dragons are playing well.
that's right. Yeah. So since last year, it was like round 12 last year. The Rabbits were on top of the ladder, and since round 12 till present, they have dropped off massively. They missed the 8. Now they're on the bottom of the ladder. So
Yep.
They've obviously sacked the coach. They're talking about Wayne Bennett going back to South
Yes.
on a 3-year deal. Like, would you want to go back to South the way they're looking when the Dolphins in the top 4?
Well, not that I'm trying to hint on what we're going to be talking about, but would he say, I'll take the job here so I don't have to go over there?
Yeah, I was reading about that the other story. I'll talk about it later. So he's talking about three-year deal, so he'll be free for that time. But we'll talk about that. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. So we'll go to the next game. The next game was the Sharks and the Storm.
Big one.
Big one. I'm so surprised at how the Sharks are going. Like, I thought, I picked the Storm.
Yep.
But obviously,
that was in Melbourne as well?
Yeah, it was in Melbourne, and like no Pappenhausen, which was a big out, but like, the Sharks they're playing really well.
It is, because this was first versus third on the ladder, and yes.
I always thought Sharks had a really good defence like the last 3 or 4 seasons, but I thought their attack was always a bit clunky, a bit not there.
Yes.
Their attack's been good this year, and to score 25 points against the Storm, it's a pretty good effort.
Oh, it's a very good effort, absolutely. Tama.
Yeah, who is... I mean, the standout player... Was there a standout player for you for the Sharks?
The Sharks, I always say it's got to be... so they didn't have Nico Hines, which was... I didn't mention that. That was a big out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So Jesse Raymond, I thought played well. And Cameron McGuinness.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, they were good players. But, it's a game I just expected the Storm just to win.
Yes,
Without Nico Hines there, I was like, okay, the Storm win this. But,
With this...
And you expect the Storm to just be clinical and get the win.
You don't see them losing many games here. Like,
No.
They're so well coached. And Craig Bellamy actually signed on again. That's another.
Yes, that's a big signing.
And 150. He's still going around. He's going to be around.
Well,
how many more premierships is he going to get?
Lots. Yep. If he stays with the Storm, probably lots. Yeah. Would you think this would bring the Storm down to earth a little bit?
Yeah, also
they can play better
I don't
in the magic round?
I don't want to play them this round. I don't want to play the Storm. We'll get to the team list. I think Jerome Hughes, if he's back, that'd be a big in. But, I wouldn't want him playing the Storm. Craig Bellamy, he would have gone off at training.
Oh, he would, definitely, yes.
So the Sunday game, the Roosters versus the Warriors. I put a cheeky bet on the Warriors. Mistake. I was like, they'll win this, and I'll put a -10 for them. I'm like, they'll win. Roosters can't win again.
No.
And then I'm like, I didn't watch the first 20 minutes, and I turned it on, and it was like 20-0 or something. I'm like, oh, no. What have I done here? What have I done? So, the Warriors lost 38-18. They scored some late tries to make it a little bit interesting, but the Wars, man, I love the Wars. I just love the Wars, but they haven't turned up this year at all.
No. The expectation of them at the end of last season, going into this season, and the expectations were high of them achieving much more at this stage of the year.
Yeah, and they had Roger Tuivasa-Sheck came in, and their team's stacked, and it's just, and their coach Webster used to be a Panthers assistant coach, and he's a really good coach.
Right.
I had some contacts with the Panthers a few years ago, and they were talking about Webster being like amazing. And
Yep.
he kind of showed it last year, like, and then this year, I don't know what they did. Like,
Yeah, yep.
I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful the Wasps will get their shit together, but
Yes.
it's just disappointing. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, 30 points, 38 to 18. What was your thoughts, Darren, on that game?
Yeah, I was expecting so much more and was delivered not much.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. No, that was another tip that that went down for me. No, I was the same. I didn't think Roosters could make it another win, but obviously I was wrong. And yes.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, Tedesco's he's trimmed down to me. He's looking sharp for Origin.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So the last game of the round, and I was going to put a bet on this game because I love a cheeky bet. It was the Titans and the Cowboys. And I'm like, the Titans, they might win this. And they were playing really well. And then the Cowboys came back in the last 10 minutes and made it real interesting.
Yes.
And they won 20 points to 18. But good to see the Titans win because the poor Titans losing David Fifita going to the Roosters. Oh, you hate to be a Titans fan. He's a great player. You've paid him all his money, and then he's like, nah, see, I'm going to the Roosters for less money. Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
interesting. So,
And
and the bye. Who had the bye? The Raiders. The poor Raiders. They needed the bye, even though they beat Manly the week before. We won't talk about it ever again.
No.
So, do you want to talk about this massive story? This massive story that's going to make me throw this laptop across the bar.
I think we should. We don't want to, but we should. Now, but I did see a bit of a glimmer. It was a message from one of our members, Aidan, says the 20th team could be ours.
Yes,
but
yes.
the way it's looking, we won't hold our breath on that.
Talk about it, Darren. Let's get angry.
Oh, yes. So it's come out in the media on Sky News, Foxtel, and one of the New South Wales papers that the NRL have basically made up their mind for the 10th and 19th team, and South Australia didn't even get a look in.
Yes, I'm very upset about this. Very upset. So they're talking about PNG, okay? PNG, all right, don't need a team. In my books, they don't need it. They can get some games over there. Like, we can take a couple of games up to PNG, have a ball.
Agreed.
But they don't need a team. If you go to PNG, all right, it's not like Australia at all. Most of the people there are pretty poor. They can't afford to go to football games like that. You can't. The economy there is not great. The government there is not great. The security there is not great. There's so many things that have to fix to get an NRL team in PNG, where they've got teams that need, like states in Australia that need teams. Like Perth, 100%, I agree.
Yes,
Perth need a
yes.
team, 100%. Adelaide needs a team. Like, you'd even push Darwin before PNG or Tasmania. Like,
Yes, yep.
Or obviously New Zealand.
New Zealand,
like
yes.
PNG, I understand they love football. I've been to PNG. They love football there. All right? They'll play with a can of Coke as a ball. Well, they don't care. But the facilities there are terrible. Like, when I was in Moresby, like, that's a main city there. It was like a third world country. Like, I don't think. And then they were talking about Wayne Bennett going there as the
Yes.
coach. Okay. Is Wayne Bennett
Yes.
going to want to live in PNG? No way.
way.
He lives in a mansion in Brisbane. He's not going to want to go to PNG. Like, what players are going to want to relocate to PNG and live there? I don't see many players. Like, they'll have obviously the local player there, but you think Nathan Cleary's going to leave the Panthers and go to PNG? You think Pappenhausen's going to leave the Storm? Like,
No.
it seems like it's just a media stunt to get money to PNG or something. Like,
It could be, but I think there's more to it, and it's political.
Always
it's politics.
Politics. Oh, I'd love to get a hold of Alandis and to shake some sense into him. Like, really, like, what is your problem, mate? Like, listen to the Rampage League podcast. We've got some ideas.
Yes, absolutely. No, I think it's I think, and it's one of my major bugbears is politics mixing with not just rugby league, but any sport. I think the two should never cross.
Yeah.
And this decision just reeks of. I know Australia's trying to get stability in the Pacific, especially from one country that we shall not name.
Yeah.
But does it have to come at the expense of a totally national competition in Australia?
100%. 100%. I believe, Adelaide for Adelaideans and South Australians to have that sporting hub like where the MCG is and it's the Melbourne Arena for the tennis courts and the sporting setup in Melbourne. I think Adelaide deserves that, having the whole package of all sporting codes.
Oh, totally agree, Tama. And so I've just got the press release here, and the Dolphins' success has reportedly given rugby league bosses confidence further expansion can succeed, and a meeting is set to take place next month, that would be June, to discuss whether 2 new teams can be added to the competition by 2030.
Yeah.
Now, we've only talked about one team, and I think that's the main issue.
Yeah.
And as you said, you totally agree with the Australian side, and that is they're looking at a team from Perth possibly merging with either the Bears or the Jets from New South Wales. Well, I'm totally with you on that. I see, yes, I agree with that. But I think Adelaide should be in that sentence also.
So, Perth makes sense because of the time difference. It opens up another slot for TV. I'd actually love to hear from someone from Perth who's over that side, because that's so far away from us. Are there actually people interested in Perth about rugby league? Because obviously South Australia, we know there's a few people, like not thousands and millions of people, but there's people here interested. But is there people in Perth who are interested in getting a team? I know the Bears are like, I've seen on their Facebook page, they're like, I can't believe we're going to get a team back.
Yes.
But does Perth care? Like, are they going to support the Bears in Perth?
I don't think Perth's totally on board, and
because we always talk about the Rams, obviously, because that's our passion. But
that's it.
Western Reds got kicked out as well, right? What were their crowds like? What was their success like? I don't even. I haven't really done research because I don't care. I care about the Rams, but if they get a team, because obviously Origin was success there, but how many of them were actually from Western Australia? How many of them came over, from the eastern suburbs, or eastern states? Sorry. So, it'd be interesting to see, if they got a team, and we didn't, would they be able to fill their ground? Who's going to relocate? What team? What players? It's exciting if it happens. It's going to happen, obviously, but if we don't get a team, I'd be interested to see how the Perth team goes. It would be
interesting if current players were given the option of Papua New Guinea or Perth to see which way they would lean.
So I was
reading
about the PNG bit. So apparently it's not 100% locked in yet.
No.
So it's not fully locked in. Peter Beattie has to have a chat with them over there, and they're going to work it out. So I'm hoping someone has a bit of common sense and goes, hold on a sec, that's just a stupid idea. How about we go to Adelaide instead?
Yes, yep.
And then 20 team, New Zealand a second team, and that's sorted. And then give them a couple of games in PNG, as I said before. Give them a couple of games, give them a taste, and if they successful, then talk about maybe a team in PNG. But I just don't see politically motivated. If you want to give PNG security, okay, leave that to the Defence Force, not the rugby league players.
Yep. Yeah, by the end of June, we will be in a position as a game to make a call on expansion. I am super confident there will eventually be 20 teams. That's the ambition from Verlanders.
So there's another thing I just randomly thought of at the top of my head. There's so many teams in Sydney, all right? So many teams. It's ridiculous, okay? They could give Perth a team, Adelaide a team, New Zealand a team, and maybe relocate one of the struggling teams to PNG. I don't know. Or maybe not to PNG, but make them like the Cronulla Sharks, not the same. It's just a random team. But they can play 3 or 4 games in PNG and be based in Sydney but play a few games in PNG.
Yes,
Give them
yeah.
the whole team. Obviously, you got to set up everything from scratch in PNG. I don't know. It's just a thought. It's a random thought that I get.
I would actually like to hear whether they've taught to Volantis is taught to Albanese. I would have liked to hear from the department that looks after safety of Australians and whether they had any input into what they thought.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. I'd love to know what the Premier of South Australia, because remember we talked a few episodes about Magic Round maybe coming to Adelaide.
Yes.
And we haven't heard anything about that. That kind of went cold really quick. Has Malinowskis even thought about a team in Adelaide besides, because he loves his AFL? That's all he talks about.
Yes,
Has he thought about other sports besides AFL in Adelaide?
Well, he has been accused of giving preference to sports in SA rather than the arts. So
yeah, I feel like if he likes the sport personally, he'll give the backing. Not it's like his personal things because he liked the V8 supercars before they got kicked out.
Yeah.
And he brought them back. All right, and that's how he got into Parliament basically. All right.
Yes, yeah.
And then the gather round, he loves AFL because he plays AFL.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But does he actually care about getting a rugby league team in South Australia? I know that the Shadow Sports Minister was on our side last year.
Yes, yep.
I'd be interested to see if he actually even has looked at a possibility of having a team in Adelaide.
Well, if you're a premier that wants to get more exposure for South Australia, more heads on pillows in hotels, and wants to help the economy of South Australia, then I would look at anything that comes across his desk across the Premier's desk and give it a serious thought.
We need to find out where he gets coffee in the mornings, and just bombard him, go, oi, listen here, mate.
We would, definitely. As someone who's not in South Australia, what's your thoughts? I know you're totally supporting South Australia team, but hearing what might be happening, what's your thoughts from an outsider?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know when and who puts forth the bid for the Adelaide Rams. Because even if you look at the Magic Round, one team has to sit out. Now, I don't know what your view is, but I'd rather see 20 teams play in Magic Round rather than one club has to sit out and those set of fans don't get to go to see the club.
Yeah, it's a big weekend, Magic Round, isn't it? You'd be pissed if your team wasn't playing. Imagine if you're living in Brisbane, you're like, okay, Magic Round's coming up, draw comes out, your team's not playing.
And you can't tell me that AFL are happy with odd numbers in gather rounds as well. I mean, they'd want 20 teams as well.
Yeah, because they've got the Tasmanian team coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe that's one thing that the AFL and South Australia has done slightly better than the gather round. All teams came to South Australia and all teams played a game, and no, we didn't have any buys or anything. So yeah, it would be, and you want to make it an event of it. You want to come over, feel the atmosphere. I don't know if there's any other events around the stadium, but you want to feel the environment and you want to go there and support your team. You just don't want to sit at home and watch every other team play.
The Dragons are the team that miss out this year. So
yeah, that's right, and but also may I ask lads as well? I mean, so I think I've asked this question before, Darren, but so who officially from Adelaide puts a bid in to the NRL, and when can we hear where and who and what and how and who puts the bid in for the Adelaide Rams?
I think it would, and please quote me if I'm wrong, I think it would have to come out of NRL SA.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So the way we kind of put it last year is we've got the petition that we've been going for. It's been going for 2 years now. So if you haven't signed it, just Google Bring Back the Rams petition. It comes straight up the first thing.
Yes.
We got told if we get enough signatures, we can present that to Parliament. To the Shadow Sports Minister will present it at Parliament, and that would kind of get the ball rolling, get the conversation started, and then obviously NRL SA could bring their 2 cents in, and maybe it'd be a government proposal.
It could be, yes.
There's elections coming up soon. That
Yeah.
A government would, if we got government support, which we can get, so at the moment we've got 525 signatures. We want 1,000. We can get that. There's easily 1,000 people in South Australia that loves rugby league.
Yes.
We've just got to get the people to
that's
sign
right.
it. So if we get the signatures, which we're hopeful get, we can give that to the Shadow Sports Minister. We can talk about it in Parliament. NRL SA can get on board. We're on board.
Well, we've seen that's how the campaign to get the Adelaide V8 started, because they went to the opposition, and the opposition ran with the campaign to get the Adelaide Adelaide the V8s back. So if we could use the same tactics as fans, and that campaign to get the V8s back or the supercars back was mainly fan driven.
Exactly. That's what we need. The people to speak, the people what they want, the fans to get out there and say, we want a team in Adelaide, sign that petition. It doesn't take much, as you can see with the 500, because it would start off as a petition.
Yes.
And they got heaps of signatures, and then Malas got on board, and then, like it was in a couple of months, they had it done. And at the end of that year, there was a race in Adelaide.
I think officially it's got to come out of the NRL or NRL SA and probably the state government. But I think, as I said last week, I think us fans have to really stand up and give our voice to this campaign, right, and talk to the right people. And
we just got to get in the conversation. That's all we need. The land is just to have someone at a press conference go, what about Adelaide? And then get that talk happening, and then all of a sudden it's on 7 News Adelaide. Oh, Adelaide Rams might be coming back, and then the word spreads, the petition gets signed. We just got to get in that conversation. I feel like most of Australia forget about Adelaide. Okay, I've lived everywhere in Australia, and I feel like no one even talks about Adelaide. I feel like it's a little gem that no one talks about, and it needs to be talked about because so many great sports teams come from Adelaide. We've got such great facilities in Adelaide, but the eastern states just kind of forget about us. Like, we need to be in that conversation more than PNG and other places, you know. So.
And definitely, Simon. Also, too, I believe the South Australian media has to be proactive as well and promote rugby league too. So 100%. You know, on your nightly news, I know AFL is always going to be predominantly first shown, and then probably cricket, basketball, and netball. But you know, you've got the British Lions coming to Adelaide next year to play an Anzac team at Adelaide Oval. So you're right. I mean, you've got the facilities there, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, full on, absolutely. Yeah. And
just talk about the media, right? Really quickly. I watch the news most days. I listen to the radio, and they talk about AFL, then they talk about soccer, and they talk about basketball, and they talk about everything. But then they really rarely they even mention the scores in the rugby league. Rarely.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to Triple M because they never talked about rugby league. They just all I heard was AFL 24/7.
Yes,
I cut them away because I'm like, come on, guys, because I went to Sydney on the weekend, and Sydney talks about obviously rugby league, which is great, but they also talk about AFL because they got two teams.
Yes,
so if Adelaide had a team, surely we'd start talking about rugby league in our South Australia.
It definitely. I wonder if there was serious talk about Adelaide getting a team, whether there would be the media would pick up on it. We won't totally rule out the media. We've seen Stacey.
Yep. She's great.
Yep. And so you've done a couple of interviews with the media, with radio and TV, and so the media are not totally anti-rugby league, but it's just not enough that involves Adelaide. I think it's got to have Adelaide in the sentence for them to...
I just feel like the kick in the teeth this year was when we didn't even get an NRL game.
No.
Right. Just give us a game, and then we can kind of hype it up and build it up. We could have broadcast from the game, have our podcast
Oh,
there.
for sure.
Could have our stickers and but they give it to Tamworth. Like, come on, man. You know,
Yeah. And I think with Adelaide has proven how we can put on great events, great sporting events, and I just feel like there's something else in there, just not saying what it is. And
yeah, well, I feel like we just need someone with a bit of money behind us, and the bid would go smoothly. Because we've got so many fans in South Australia. There's no competition from any other team in South Australia. The facilities here are great.
I just kind of wrote myself some notes. So the Australian side of the next team is Perth and a team from New South Wales merging.
Yeah.
And Adelaide is approximately the same distance from Perth as it is from Sydney. Yeah. And so why were we left out of the conversation? It's not like we're off on an island just off Australia. We're basically almost below New South Wales with Victoria in the middle. And
yeah, that's where I come back to. Like, I feel like we just don't get talked about as a state.
But also too, what does travel look like for the Auckland Warriors? I mean, do they play in Auckland, fly to Perth, fly to Port Moresby, back in Cairns, back at Suncorp, back to Auckland? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not just for Auckland as well. I mean, that's for all teams. What's
you got to think of the cost, don't you? The cost of the travel. So if PNG got a team, they've got to travel from PNG to Melbourne to Sydney. Like, it's a long trip.
Yep, and then to New Zealand, and who is going to prop up the Australian sides when they have to travel to Port Moresby or PNG?
Because you got to worry about passports on it, like stuff like that. Like, it's not as simple. It's another country, Like, will they let certain players in? Like, is there going to be like an agreement there? Like, but yeah, the cost would be massive.
Also, too, Simon, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I personally believe that there's not enough talent pool to cover PNG and the Sydney teams for injuries. I actually don't believe a second New Zealand team would work because I don't think there's a large enough pool of talent in New Zealand for two teams. I mean, that's my thoughts.
I agree with you there. So, like, I think it's enough players in New South Wales Cup and probably Queensland Cup too to kind of, you'd spread the talent out a bit. So obviously a few teams would lose a few stars to push to other teams. But PNG, I don't think there's enough talent in PNG. There's a few players there, but how many PNG players are in the rugby league right now?
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Xavier Coates, Justin Olam. Right. There's a few, and there's a lot in reserve grade, but they're not first grade players. Obviously New Zealand, the rugby union is crazy over there. Could we poach a few rugby union players?
Yes. They've still got the PNG team playing in the Queensland Cup. Is that right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, let them flourish in the Queensland Cup. I mean,
just keep them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
could they bring that team into the first grade?
Yeah, they could then, because they're called the Hunters.
That's it.
So I'm just watching. I haven't paid attention to them all year, but so they're playing. There's a game this weekend in Port Moresby, against the Ipswich Jets. I might see if I can live stream it and just see what it's like. The quality of a game, because I look through the team and then obviously there's no one I know at all. They're all just local PNG players, but interesting to see how the quality is, because they won the comp a few years ago in Queensland Cup.
Right, okay.
The PNG team. So they're currently 8th on the ladder, so they're not going great. But
and if we're looking at heritage clubs like North Sydney Bears going to Perth, why can't we look at Newtown Jets coming to Adelaide?
100%. I talked about this last year.
Yes.
So Jets makes sense because in Adelaide there's an Air Force base. So Jets, Adelaide Jets. Yep. There's I think it's called RAF Edinburgh, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yes.
You could have a flyover for the game. Like, it brings back the history of the Newtown Jets, and we can just own them.
Yep.
Have a game there one a year. Like,
that kind of makes sense. I would then kind of base them out at Elizabeth Way.
There's plenty of places you can build a stadium out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nothing out there.
That's it. Yes, yeah, yep.
Get
And
built
kind
on the
of,
sport, yeah.
yeah, make a formal, forge a relationship with Edinburgh and the yes,
We had a phone call going on the chat.
yes,
Might
yeah.
have been Peter Volandi's calling you.
It could be. That would be nice. Yeah, someone wanted my attention, and
Yeah, it was Volandi's calling about the the Newtown Jets relocating to Adelaide Jets. I would have to change their colours. The blue and white, it's just too much Bulldogs to me.
it would be a major clash. And yes, yeah.
So we're talking about, obviously, we've gone around in circles a bit. So the 18th team could be the Perth Bears, 19th team Adelaide Jets, just spitballing. 20th team, we're talking New Zealand, probably maybe like they'd want a team New Zealand because they have that rivalry, but we're talking there's not enough talent in New Zealand.
No.
Where else in Australia could we have a team? Could we go Tasmania? Could we go? I don't think there's much in Tasmania. Adelaide Cricket.
Well, there
football-wise.
it would.
Yeah, because they got the AFL team there.
Yep, and they've
The
just
stadium as well.
Yep, and they've just got the Jack Jumpers as of last season.
So, could we go to Darwin? I don't, because they get a game one every year. Do we need another Queensland team? Could we have another team in Melbourne? It's all about you having the talent, because more and more people there's more people coming from Polynesia playing, which is good. Like you check the NRL, there's so many Polynesian players.
Yes.
And that's a lot of quality there. But do you think we could have a team in like Fiji or something in the competition, or Samoan team?
Yeah. Yep.
Spitballing here out of my mind. Instead of or would they have Tonga, Samoa, PNG as the next three teams? Worry about Perth and Adelaide at all.
That's right. Yes.
Should we go for a quick breakdown and come back? What do you reckon?
I
We've been
think
talking for a while.
I think we should. Yes.
Are you a passionate rugby league fan? Want to see a rugby league team in Adelaide? If you answered yes to these questions, then we want to hear from you. Here at the Rampage League podcast, we're looking for the next presenter. Someone who will bring their passion and enthusiasm to the Rampage League podcast. Someone who wants a rugby league team back in Adelaide. For more info, send an email to producer Darren at admin@ozsportsonline.com.
Have you thought about promoting your business, event or product on radio? Getting your product, service on radio is easier than you think. Consider sponsoring Adelaide's only dedicated rugby league podcast on Ozsports Radio. In return for your sponsorship, we offer fully voiced and produced sponsorship announcements played during the live recording and broadcast, as well as online promotion if that tickles your fancy as well. For more information, send an email to our marketing team at ozsportsonline.com.
Yes, that's right. You're listening to the Rampage League podcast, coming to you live from the Brew Boys Brewery. If you haven't come down here, make sure you come down here and try one of their awesome craft beers and some of their beautiful chicken burgers or chicken wings.
Yeah, do you want to go on with Ladder Watch? One of my favourite segments. Check out
yes.
The ladder. We'll have obviously a discussion about everything. So we'll go through the top 8. Sharks are on top. All right, hasn't changed. The Panthers are back up to second. Cleary's out. Storm have dropped to third. Dolphins are fourth. Roosters have climbed up to fifth. Broncos have come up to sixth. Raiders are up to 7th after their bye, and the Storm. Manly have dropped to 8th after that 2 losses in a row. So what's your thoughts on the top 8, Darren?
For me, it's nothing that really stands out. Just some teams have come up, some have come down, but nothing really stands out for me. And At Summer?
Yeah, I think that sort of 5, 6, 7 placing, you look at the Sea Eagles, your team does. Doggies, Knights.
Yeah.
I think they're fighting for that sort of 8, 9, 10. But, the Dolphins, it's still a long season. But I think, Sharks, Panthers, Roosters and Broncos will be up there, definitely.
Yeah. So the Sharks do have a tough run in the next few weeks.
Right.
The Dolphins, their depth is only their problem. If they have a few major injuries, that could cost them. The Sea Eagles, obviously, no Turbo for 8 weeks. I think they can cover him. I think Cherry Evans has been in great form this year. Luke Brooks has been a bit up and down, but they're still kind of getting that combination. So the Raiders, I think, will drop out of the 8. Cowboys maybe can jump and take their spot. The Cowboys have been disappointing.
They have, yes.
They have that X factor where they can put points on real quick. I think I think the Eels, I think the Tigers, the Titans, and the Rabbitohs are gone for this season.
Right.
Gone. But,
Gone.
hopeful for the Warriors, but and the Bulldogs, obviously. The Bulldogs, they're just outside the 8. They're 1 point out of the 8, and they'll kind of surprise people. But, yeah, we'll see how we go. I think after round 16, I'll be more confident in my top 8. But
That's right.
yeah, it's a thing. Like, you could be... The Sharks are on top now. They could lose 3 or 4 players injury, have a bad Origin campaign, and then they could be out of the top 4. Like the Souths last year. They're on top of the ladder.
Yes.
After 12 rounds, and then they didn't make the 8. So
That's right, yes.
I've always see these predictions people make. I see on TikTok, I see on Facebook. Oh, this is my top 8. You can't top 8 predict until around 20 because you might lose your halfback for the season. You're 5'8",
right.
your spine might be shot. You might lose a player suspended for like 6 weeks for a spear tackle. Like so many variables.
Exactly. And it would probably, as you said, it would probably be a good idea to look at the top 8 after Magic Round, after State of Origin, when it gets back to normal games.
It's going to be difficult because a lot. Obviously, the Broncos will lose a few players. They always do.
Yeah.
Like the teams are more effective.
Warriors.
The Warriors, they won't have anyone really, will they? So
That's right.
that might be their chance to get back up. Yeah.
That's right. That's where they usually shine in State of Origin period.
Talking about Origin, I can't believe that the bad luck of the Blues players. They've lost a few players.
Coaching staff must be pulling their hair out.
We talked about Cleary. We talked about Turbo. Nico Hines is injured. Who else is in this? A few players out, isn't there?
They are, yes.
That's right.
And I feel like Queensland.
And
yeah. Go ahead.
That's Mark. That'd be Mark Maguire, who's coaching now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Is it Mark Maguire?
Mark Maguire. He used to be South's coach and the West Tigers coach. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And he played for the Rams as well.
He did. Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was fullback, and we've got to get guys like him sort of promoting brings back the Rams as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Imagine if we got him as the coach because he's obviously only coaches for New South Wales.
Oh, that would be awesome. Someone who's been in the bubble, someone who knows the culture of South Australia. That would be awesome to have. Yeah.
So you're talking about Michael Maguire. So he was coach for the Tigers when James Tedesco was the Tigers, Luke Brooks and Mitchell Moses. All right. So they're obviously. Right. So that could be New South Wales spine there. With Teddy at fullback, Luke Brooks and Mitchell Moses in the halves, and have Appy Coruscant at dummy half. That's a pretty decent spine if they're not injured,
Yes.
And they 3 of the 4 know Michael Maguire's kind of coaching style. The Blues are kind of running low on halfbacks and 5'8", so Luke Brooks could be their saviour.
Absolutely. Yes.
He copped so much shit at the Tigers. So much shit. I'm glad he's at Manly. We treat him a bit better there.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to Origin this year. I just sucks that it's not another game in Adelaide. I'm greedy. I want to go back again. But I won't get it this year. But hopefully we get it next year or something. I'll probably get MCG next year, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then
Mel Meninga was talking about playing an Origin game in Auckland.
Auckland?
Whoa, there you go. Okay.
Jeez, that'd be
so, I don't think that's too far off as well.
That is a big possibility, yeah.
It would be, definitely.
The only thing I think would be interesting is the time difference.
That's right.
Because they'd want it Australian prime time. And that'd be late in New Zealand. That's the only thing I'd see be a sticking point. But everything else, that'd sell out for sure.
That's right, because at 7:30 p.m. kickoff in Sydney would in Auckland would be 9:30.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wednesday night. Oh. Yeah. They have to put it on the weekend, surely.
Oh yes.
Well, maybe they might have started earlier and have a 5:30 game in New Zealand, and we get it at 7:30 here. Maybe,
we could do that.
Around,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I could. Yeah, I'll give them that. I'll give them that game. That would. I can see the sense in that, and yeah.
Imagine if they said they pulled this out in June and go, so PNG are getting a team in 2030, and also they're getting Origin as well. I swear.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think an Origin game, I think we can safely say and happily say, is a way off. And Yeah.
It's funny talking about PNG again. So I watched a video a few years ago, and it was a game of league in PNG. It would have been that's a club game there, and one of the players got sent off for a high tackle, knocks out the ref,
Oh, no.
and then they all riot. I'm like, I have to find this video. I'll show you one day.
Yes,
But I
yeah.
put it on our Rampage Facebook. But yeah, this guy he gets sent off on the way out, knocks out the ref. He's on the ground, and then hundreds and hundreds of people come on. They start fighting the players. I'm
Oh,
like,
no. Could
I'm
you
like, PNG.
imagine that happening at the game where you had that bit of incident in the tunnel?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, Jack Hetherington, yeah, and Reid Maloney, yeah.
At least they had the decency to do that in the tunnel and not on the field.
Or the battle rookie with Glenn Stewart.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God, I love the battle rookie. Bring back the Biff. What am I talking about?
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
I think we should go on with the preview for round 11. Is it round 11?
Round 11, yep.
Yes,
Wow, that's
yep.
crazy. I'm looking at Queensland Cup. I'm going to get back to me. So Friday night games. There's no Thursday night game this week
Oh,
because of Magic Round.
of course.
So Friday early game at Suncorp, because they're all at Suncorp, is the Raiders and the Bulldogs. What's your thoughts, Darren? You got a tip for this? I'd be interested. So no one's really come in or out for the team. So only difference for the Raiders is Jordan Rapana is back.
Right.
But besides that, they're the same as they were last week. The teams. What's your thoughts?
I think Raiders.
Raiders.
Yep.
Raiders. I'm gonna go Bulldogs. I think
Okay.
the Bulldogs. They're in a bit of form now. I see a bit of momentum humming.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the doggies they're at $1.63. Raiders $2.28. But yeah, Raiders coming off of a rest. Yeah, the doggies need to build that momentum. So yeah, I'll go Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's the big thing about the
Okay.
Raiders is their halves. So Jamal Fogarty is not playing.
Oh,
Still
right.
out.
Okay.
They've got K.O. Weeks, who's a fullback playing in the halves, and he played good against Manly.
Yep.
But he's not a halfback. He's kind of like just manufacturing himself. So
Yes.
yeah, I think the Bulldogs. I wouldn't be surprised though if the Raiders won. I wouldn't be like, oh well, if the Raiders won, I can't believe that. But
Yeah.
the Bulldogs should win that. So the late game is the Manly Seagulls versus the Broncos. This is a Manly Seagulls home game in Brisbane against the Broncos. It's the last game for this deal. We had a deal, like a 5-year deal, where we'd take a game to Suncorp as the home.
Okay.
And it just majorly disadvantages us because we're against like the crowd, the ref, always in the
yes.
Broncos' back pocket. And obviously we've got no Turbo.
No.
Jason Saab's
no.
out as well. Jason Saab is a good player. He's fast. I have to tip against my team. So Ola Kawatu's back. That's probably the big in for Manly because he's a gun. I
He
love
is.
Ola Kawatu. Yeah, but I'm going to have to tip the Broncos against my beloved Manly Seagulls. What's your thoughts, Darren? Tell me you're going to tip Manly.
I would. It's head over heart. I think I'm going to have to go Broncos, but it tears me
Yeah.
apart to do that. But
The only thing about the Broncos is no Adam Reynolds, but
right,
yeah,
okay.
But yeah, I think Broncos. I don't even know why I'm asking you who you're going to tip, but I guess you'll tip the Broncos too.
Yeah, I think the Broncos will get up pretty comfortably. And obviously with Turbo out, I think it might be just a little bit of a big ask
Yeah.
for Manly.
If Cherry Evans plays well,
Yep.
then it might be close. I'm not saying Manly going to win, but if he plays well, maybe lose 1-12. If Cherry has an off night, it's 13 plus easy.
Yes.
Yeah, he should perform at Suncorp as well.
Yeah.
XCE, yeah.
So the Saturday game, we'll go on to the Titans versus the Knights. So the Titans, the poor Titans, so they had a win last weekend, but they lost players. So AJ Brimson gone. All right.
Yep.
Tanner Boyd gone. Kieran Foran gone. So their halves, they've got Sam Verrills, who's played for the Roosters, dummy half. He's playing halfback. Okay. Chris Randall playing 6. They've manufactured their halves. Their spine looks terrible. I can't see him winning against Newcastle. Newcastle just have Bradman Best has been in good form. Jackson Hastings. I don't see. I think the Titans are going to get walloped here. What's your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, I think I'd have to go. The Knights. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
Knights.
you. Yes, Knights.
What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, tonight for me. I think they'll just get over easily.
Yeah, I think that the next game's going to be this one. The next game is probably my game of the round.
Right.
So this is the Sharks versus the Roosters. The Roosters are playing great. They're moving up on the ladder as we check the ladder watch.
Yep.
The Sharks, they're on top. They've only lost one game all year. So the big out for the Roosters is Joe Umanu's out. Nico Hines is back in for the Sharks.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Roosters to beat the Sharks.
Well, there you go. You heard it there.
Sam Walker, as much as he's looks like he's 12 years old on a football field because he's so small.
Yes.
He's been playing good. I think their forward pack too is Victor Radley. You got Agnes Crichton, Lindsay Collins. I think the Roosters will. I think it'll be close, but I think the Roosters will beat the Sharks. What's your thoughts, Darren?
I think I'd have to go. I'm going to go Sharks.
Sharks.
I think. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going Roosters.
Roosters, yeah, smart. Smart.
He is.
Oh, it's funny because I hate the Roosters as well. But anyway, the next game, I hate a lot of teams, don't I? Every game I hate them as well. Okay, the next game is the Cowboys versus the Rabbits. Will the Rabbits win a game? Because the Cowboys are disappointing as well. So they start off well. So obviously they've got the Troll back. They've got Alex Johnson back. Oh God. I don't know. This is a tough one, yeah. I'm going to go Cowboys.
Yeah, I would too. I'm leaning towards the Cowboys.
Just because it's in Queensland.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just about to say that because it's in Queensland. Yeah, I'll go Cowboys.
Cowboys. All right, so Sunday. This is another good game. It's the Warriors, the Wars versus the Panthers. And remember, no Panthers, they got no Nathan Cleary. And then their backup half also got injured. So Brad Schneider, he's gone as well. So their halves, they've put Jerome Luai to 7 and Jack Cole to 6. He only played his first game last week. So their halves are inexperienced. Yeah, they're still the big out for the Warriors is no Sean Johnson. Okay,
right.
That's a massive out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just seen that. I didn't notice it before. So no Sean Johnson. RTS is gone as well. They've got Charles Nickel-Clodstad. He's playing in halves, okay, with Terry Martin. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting because, I don't see it going to be a high-scoring match considering both their halves are out.
Yes.
I'm going to tip the Warriors. Stuff it. I'm going to tip them from upset. I'm going to say they're going to win. I'm going to say Golden Point.
Yep.
What's your thoughts?
Yep. I'll go the Wars. Yep. I'll tip the Warriors.
Well, I mean, Warriors paying $4.45.
Well, I might put a bet on.
Yeah. Yeah. You put a little cheeky tenner on it and or a little multi, but yeah. Oh, look. Yeah, up the Wars, I guess.
Yeah. So I'll put a cheeky bet on, right? And if they win, I'll buy you a beer next week, Darren.
All right.
Not nothing too expensive. Calm down.
No.
I'll buy you a beer at the Brew Boys Brewery. There you go.
All right. Yep.
Okay, so the next game is my favourite team that I love to hate, and I hate them with a passion. It's the Parramatta Eels versus the Storm. We already talked about the Storm. I don't see him playing that bad 2 weeks in a row.
No.
Craig Bellamy is going to rip them apart all week. Still have no Clint Gutherson, no Mitchell Moses. I think, Cameron Munster will tear it down. And, Harry Grant, I don't see the Storm losing again.
No.
So I think they'll rip up the poor Parramatta Eels. So I'm tipping the Storm by a lot. What's your thoughts, Darren? You're going to say Parramatta, aren't you?
I should just upset, but no, I think you're right. I can't see the Storm losing 2 weeks in a row. So, Storm.
What's your thoughts?
Storm all around.
Storm? Yeah.
Storm all around.
Storm all around. Get up the Storm, mate. So the next game is the poor Tigers against the Dolphins. Okay, the Dolphins, the Hammer's back, so that's big in for the Dolphins.
Nice.
And the poor Tigers, their halves are still, so no Aiden Sezu still out. Yeah, I think if the Tigers have any chance, Api Coruscant's got to do everything. like he does every game for them.
Yes.
Like he's a gun. Happy He used to play for Manly. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yes.
to the Panthers. And, yeah, but yeah.
Yep.
If they got any chance, it's Api Coruscant. Otherwise, I think the Tigers, the Dolphins will win.
Yeah.
So yeah, all tipping the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I'm thinking,
Yeah, Dolphins around. Yep.
Dolphins. And then obviously we talk about the bye, and it's the Dragons, which shouldn't happen. We should have an 18th team already. Come on.
That's right. That's right.
I feel sorry for them Dragons fans. We can do all weekend. You wouldn't know.
No.
Nothing.
Do you think they'd still tune in or come over to Queensland just to get their fix of rugby, or do you think they're too diehard?
I met a few
fans.
Dragons fans, and they're diehard Dragons fans that like they don't care about anyone else. They're not going to come go. Oh, I'll watch the Storm play. No, they just want to see their team. So, like I'm different. I love watching all games. I love every
Yes.
game. I'll watch every game.
Yep.
But a lot of people just want to watch their team, don't they? Like they don't want to watch the other teams.
No,
So,
no.
Yeah. So poor Dragons fans anyway.
It is, yeah. Yep. Yeah, if you're a Dragons fan out there who's listening to the podcast, send us a message on our social media and let us know what you'll be doing over the weekend since your team's not playing in Magic Round.
Could you watch some old tapes from the 80s when they were really good, or was it the 70s when they were good?
Yeah, yep.
Back when they were St. George, not Illawarra. Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know. We'd love to know what you're going to do over the weekend and, on our socials.
Don't forget, I've got 1,000 stickers to hand out too. I've been sending out stickers. I've sent out probably about 12 packets of stickers to lucky fans, and it's cost you nothing. You just got to like our Facebook page. Send me a message if you're addressed, because I need to know where to send them.
Yes, yep.
I'll send you out 10 stickers. I've got heap. I got too many. I'll start. You just stick them. I'm thinking about just randomly sticking them on light poles in Adelaide, but see how we go.
Yes, yep.
There's anything else to talk about? What else? We talked about everything, haven't we?
I
Magic round,
think
Origin.
so.
We talked about Adelaide a little bit, I think, about the Rams.
Yep.
Talked about how much we love PNG and how much we're on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wearing my Manly shirt tonight as
Yeah,
well. So
very nice shirt, I must say. Yep.
it's funny because I used to be a Broncos member when I lived in Brisbane. I talked this years ago.
Yep.
Or last year.
Yep.
So I went to the Brisbane games because I just love rugby league. One of my favourite players, he actually now is a wrestler. So Daniel Vito, I loved him.
Oh, yeah.
So when he played for the Raiders, he used to come through Macca's drive-through when I used to work at Macca's, and I'd hook him up with a burger. So he was Raiders, and he went to the St. George, and then he went to the Broncos. So I became a member, watched him every week, and he got dropped after like 6 or 7 games because he was playing terrible. But Brisbane Broncos fans, when Brisbane are playing well, they're the best fans in the comp, no doubt.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best fans. They are the loudest. But when the Broncos are going bad, they are terrible. Like you have obviously your passionate Broncos fans, but they don't rock up. They don't care. But when they're winning, you don't want to go to a Broncos game if they're top 4, because you're not going to believe and happy, because they'll give you so much shit. Yes, yes. But yeah, well done Broncos fans. We'll see you this Friday night. Oh, we're playing the Broncos, aren't we? I forgot about that. Yeah, Manly. I've got a few Broncos fans that are my friends.
Yep.
And I dead set after the game, I'm turning my phone on silent until Sunday because I'll just cop it. But if we win, they'll probably do the same thing, turn their phones off. So.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yep. So, I know I'm harping on it, but what can Adelaide Rams fans do to... Now we know what basically is happening from the NRL. What can fans do other than and we really want them to sign our petition, so that's probably the number one.
Yeah, definitely. Just Google "Bring Back the Rams" petition. I'd Google it before, come straight up the top. Click on the link, sign your name. You get an email to confirm it. Click the confirm button. You don't have to pay anything. Cost you nothing. That signature is going to help us. The other way you can do it is if you're in Adelaide or South Australia, just wear your jersey around, your team. If you've got a Panthers jersey or a Broncos jersey, wear your and just go to the pub and just go up to a random bloke and go, mate, you said that footy on the weekend? Just having a chat about footy. Go, footy,
Yep.
What footy you talking about? You talking about the Crows, man? No, mate. Talking about real footy. We actually hit someone and you actually don't jump in the air for no reason. And they go, oh, rugby league. Oh, give it a look, And next minute, we got a rugby league fan. If you don't wear it, you don't talk about it, then no one knows about it, you know. So.
That's it.
Or even when you're at the local RSL and they've got AFL on 40 different screens of the same game, go up to the bar lady and go, "Oi, can you chuck on it to Fox League real quick? I want to watch the Wars play," you know.
Yes, yeah.
And then people go, "What's this? Rugby league? Oh, they're actually tackling each other." Yeah.
Yeah.
Open their eyes up. That's what you need to do.
Absolutely. Would you say talk to your local state member?
Yeah, definitely. Just get us in the conversation. Yeah, like the petition, wear your jersey, spread the word. Really, talk about it. Talk to if you know politicians, if you know someone with millions of dollars, hit them up. And that's the best way we can do it. Like, if we don't talk about it, we don't try, then it's not going to happen. We've got to try. You know, we've got to do our best to get a team here. Because all it takes is a person overhearing that's got the knowledge or the money or the power, and then next minute, Landy's on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, scrap that PNG. I'm sorry, I was on crack. We're going to go to Adelaide because that's the best city in Australia." There you go.
Yes, yep. Well, there you go. Yep, a lot of ways you can get the word out and help us get a team in Adelaide.
Yeah, that should do it for today, I think, yeah?
I think so, yep.
It's been a great podcast. I've enjoyed this one.
Yep, definitely. Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you, Tama.
Tama, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks, Darren.
You're most welcome. And we'll be back same time, same channel next week.
Bring back the Rams.
Go the Rams. Bah!
Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Kerrod Walters just goes from dubbing half to pick up Darren Doherty. Doherty, 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.